It is Luis Alvarado here, and I'm super excited to be talking about this subject today. Have you guys ever been to conferences? My first conference was last year, and it was at AdCon. And that conference alone, like, really set the foundation for my career here in this digital space. And everything that I was able to just learn there, but the people that I was able to meet really transformed the trajectory of my life. And today, for us to like learn these principles and everything that you can do to apply and to actually get the most out of the conferences that you attend, right? You may be spending a certain amount of money. Today we have Social Sonia. She's gonna really explain how you can make that investment that you've made and make it 5x. So Sonia, say hello.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Luis, so much for having me here. I'm really excited to share everything I want people to know about conferences. So thank you so much for calling me and having me to talk about this. This is super exciting subject for me because I actually love to talk about it a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, guys. And for those that are tuning in and watching the replay, leave a comment below, drop a heart, and feel free to ask any questions. We'll definitely address them throughout this live stream. But Sonia, give us a little bit about your background.
About background, so I actually I am accountant turned digital marketer. I help real estate agents. That's major thing what I do on daily basis. Work with real estate agents and help them with their appointments and getting them more leads for their business. So I work with my partner, and they happen to be my husband with this. And besides being passionate about helping real estate agents, I actually love helping entrepreneurs to understand conferences and to get the most out of it. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Yeah, and then what made you wanna go into this? Because nobody touches on the subject of like conferences and how to like really apply to get the most out of it. What triggered you to go in this route?
Well, actually, what triggered me, because this just happened, I believe, accidentally. Somehow, the same week, many months ago, I've been asked the same week. Two people approached me and say, "Hey, can you coach me on going to a conference?" I was like, "What? What do you mean? How to what do you need?" Well, I do have some questions. I have never been to a conference, so I like to be coached. So that I was taken back by that, because I thought like, wow. I mean, how do you not know how to go to conference? But then I realized that, many people they feel like intimidated by, being surrounded with other people. They don't know how to, approach, how to connect with speakers, what to actually need to get out of the conference. What is important? There's so many things he asked me, like he didn't want to miss, a few things, and then he wanted to learn more about, how to position himself as somebody who wants to offer a certain service, right? So he's a copywriter, and also he does ads as well for local businesses. So I was coaching him very naturally, and his old question, this turned into 2-hour coaching, right? So and all these questions can inspire me to share more. The same week, I have another person say, "Hey, I see you're so social, and I see you all these conferences. Would you be able to share all the strategies with me?" I said, "Sure." I actually just did it with this person, and I said, "Okay, sure." So the person I coach, he actually happened to go to conference, and he came home with a client.
Nice.
And this person went to the conference, and she actually scheduled 12 interviews with the potential with the speakers and people that are about to be speakers, because that was her desire. She's a writer, right? So that was kind of like interesting thing. So I'm in this private mastermind, and I said, to the mentor that actually is in the mastermind, I said, "Hey, I was just asked about the conference. It's kind of interesting thing." He was like, "Hey, would you like to share with our group?" I said, "Why not?" So I put together the slides, all the questions I've been asked, and when I shared, they're like, "We are blown away with this information. We never thought about this stuff. That's a different, strategy." So I realized, okay, I do have an interesting strategy to it. So I just started sharing with people what I know. I set up my own group, and that's pretty much, how it happened. Just to share, my experience at conferences, connecting all conference goers, connecting, organizers, and making sure that when people go to conference, they have a strategy in place, and they can get out of what they actually put in, if not more. So, and I'm just sharing what I have been using that has been working for me, amazingly, just because I am kind of, known this in this entrepreneurial world and very well connected with people that do either what I do or people that I want to work with. So same thing I really wish for everybody who's actually listening to this right now.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Those relationships, and there's principles behind going for and forming your own strategy. So, we mentioned, like, right before hopping on this call, like, we both believe in the power of going into these conferences with a strategy. So, guys, if you all are watching right now, drop a comment. Let us know which ones have you gone this past year in 2017, and what conference you're looking forward to go to in this 2018. So that'd be interesting to learn about.
Yes, definitely. So, few conferences that I have been going actually in 2017, and AtCon, of course, and this is you went to AtCon, and AtCon pretty much really changed so many things in my life, because I was able to meet entrepreneurs that further, affected me in a positive way, where they were able to introduce me furthermore in different groups. And now we are the first AtCon. We were like a group of 12 people that rented this huge house, and we mastermind in the house after the AtCon, right? And kind of help each other grow, right? So we had this messenger group where we kind of interacted, and we'll still do. And this year again, we all coming back to the same house, other house, but the same people, and we kind of added a few more. And we are going to again mastermind and help each other grow, right? And we also agree, if there's no AtCon, anymore, we will be coming each year, and we'll rent a house, and we will kind of help each other grow. We'll have our private mastermind with each other, right? So that's another thing that you can accomplish when you're at a conference. Think outside the box, right? It's not all about what you're going to learn from the speaker. It's not all about the topic you're going to learn. It's really connecting and making it bigger than it possibly can be, right? So, what is, another conference that I kind of really love is Social Media Marketing World. For 2 years, I have been working behind the scenes of the organization of this conference. So, really meeting speakers, organizers, and amazing people, knowing exactly what is expectation of conference, and knowing what kind of like they kind of train us and prep us to understand who is coming to the conference, what they want, and what do we need to help them to achieve. So working, and this conference is right now is going to close to 5,000 people, right, of entrepreneurs. So being behind the scenes of this kind of huge event kind of gave me another perspective of what is happening, what really people want. So there is a certain trend that's happening right now. More and more people go to conferences. Again, not only because of what is being what they can learn there, it's really about who they can connect with, right? And many people, they when I went to my very first conference, and there was Social Boom with Kim Gars, because I follow Kim Gars and really love her to this day. And when I went there, I remember that I looked at the stage and I said, hey, I want to speak at the stage one day, right? So, and that was I was always inspired by that. And this is why I know so many speakers, because each time I meet speakers, they already know I want to be speaker. I always ask them something about it, right? So it's kind of like it always getting me a step closer. This inspired me to create my 50 workshops that helped me further to get to speaking gigs in New York City. So it's really what you get out of it, right? I don't get so much at a conference as far as like, hey, what I learned, right? But I like to kind of go to sessions what I really am kind of passionate about. And I care about if the sessions are recorded, I come home and I listen to what I missed, right? And right now, I don't actually worry too much about when I go what I'm going to learn, because I have a strategy in place that what I want to accomplish one thing. So I only going to a conference to learn about that one thing, right? So whatever that one thing might be for you, you should have a strategy in place and think about. For example, I know now I'm going to AtCon, and then there will be amazing speakers talking all about e-com and all this great stuff. But I am currently not working on anything that is related to e-commerce. So I am not going to get all pumped up and go all excited about it, right? Because this is going to distract me from what I'm working on currently, right?
Exactly.
Keep in mind, already be prepared that this guy, when you see his business, when you see how much money he makes, when you see how much his business is big, you'll be like, okay, I'm going to get e-commerce store and now I'm going to be selling those products, right? But then you have to remember, hey, is this really what I'm working on? No, I want to get, this many clients this quarter, and me getting myself on, e-commerce store is going to distract me from getting there, right?
Exactly.
So I already know that I have strategy in place that how I'm going to, what I'm going to take out and what kind of notes I'm going to be coming home with, right? Who I'm going to meet. I truly believe in collaboration. As many agencies people I can meet, that's better for me because I know you have agency as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I have means that you have people that are my ideal client, and I have people that are your ideal client, right? So we are just spreading and giving each other kind of borrowing audience to each other, right? So that's another thing that kind of can impact your business as well, meaning people that do what you do. When you collaborate, you help each other grow further instead of thinking, hey, they're my competitors, right? So
Yeah.
collaboration over competition.
Yeah, and nowadays, like the collaborative aspect of it, especially like doing things online, is huge. I think it was a few months ago. We started a thing called the Snack Pack, and it was like different people, Arnie, Paloma, Amanda, different people. We all came together, and we believe like we're all in the same space. Like we're in competitors. We're collaborators. We want to keep influencing and reaching more and more individuals. And as you said, like it just expands the mission. It just puts that exchange of the energy really furthers everybody along, as opposed to if you're just staying on your own lane and then this person stays on your own lane. Once you guys collaborate, the growth is just much more exponential. And I also liked who's here. Hey Phil, what's up, man? How's it going? We're talking about conferences. And we're hacking the whole entire conference experience here, and I really liked what you said about focusing on one thing. Like even if you a lot of people get carried away because you're seeing a bunch of different topics and they all seem very attractive, but you need to know like what you're there for. You're there for like that one thing, and then everything else, you can see it as a recording later on. But yeah, so keep walking us through that through your process.
So this is what I do. I have, and I feel I didn't have this in place before, but as I was going to more and more conferences, I realized, hey, I get very energized and like I feed off people at a conference because I love the energy, right? So as soon as I see people, I get so energized that my brain starts working so much. So I see something like, oh, I want to have e-commerce store. Oh my gosh, I want to add this to my agency as a service. Oh my gosh, it will be so awesome if I teach about this, right? And then I just start like randomly thinking about amazing stuff I could be teaching or adding or going to, right? So what I do, I go with a list now, and it's called ideas, right? Ideas is like this. Okay, let's just say I talk to you, say, hey, I have amazing e-commerce store. Say, okay, e-commerce store, I'll write down. E-commerce store, that's gonna might work well, blah blah, and write something about what I think about it, right? Which means I release this out of my brain. It's not anymore, doesn't give me that much excitement. It's on the notes. So when I come home, I can say, okay, I now I can think about clearly if I really want to work on this or not. Or I can say, hey, I'm gonna work now, but I can work it maybe in September, right? I can make a room for that, right? So, but I kind of took out of my brain and dump in the idea page, right? And then I get like, oh my gosh, maybe I could just go join this mastermind. Okay, put our idea, right? Oh, I want to get this training. I want to buy this. Put your idea, because when you're there, you just want to like swipe the card and be like, okay, I want to get this training. But okay, just put it out there. And if you go home, and I'm sure they'll still have this like a offer for you, like a conference offer. You can connect with and say, hey, I'm sorry, I missed this offer, but I was there and I kind of really want to get it. They will give it to you, right? But write it on paper, because that kind of prevents me from going and swiping the card, right? Each time I hear something, okay, okay, 50% off, I'm getting this training, because I'm actually known for a person that has so many trainings. And then this year actually is my year of implementation. All of these trainings are actually purchased, because I've been like under until I realized that how much energy I get when somebody started like speaking about different things. I realized very soon that I have like a shiny object syndrome, and then I need to like deal with it, which means have idea page. Each time you get something, just write in it. You can actually use your phone as well. Have notes, say awesome ideas that I have, and you can dump it in. Or you can just say during the conference, this conference ideas, and dump it here. So you know what you were thinking, right? And when you're thinking about the, don't just say e-commerce store, say about something that you really kind of were thinking at the moment, so you don't really forget, right? Be very specific. Another thing that I have is taking notes. How I take notes, I just, if you are teaching something, I don't take notes with everything you say, right? Because that can be very overwhelming. If I have idea that I want to get, 30 more clients, before end of March, I will think everything you say, if this is relating to getting me more clients, right? So what does it mean? It means that I will only take notes that relate to my goal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm not going to, if somebody says, for example, hey, make more videos, because this is very important for you, it's going to build your brand, right? I'm not going to write make more videos. I'm going to say make more videos to educate agents on on different topics, on different pain points and different desires and different strategies, right? I'm just going to say exactly what kind of videos I should be making. So right away, I'm putting their strategy in place. When I come home, I know what I have to work on, instead of, as I used to come home with papers everywhere and thinking, okay, about blogging, about podcast, about YouTube, about new websites, about SEO. I had so many things I want to work on, and then I'll just get overwhelmed. I'll just say, I just don't know what to do, and I don't do anything. Now I know I don't want to work on SEO. I'm just gonna put on ideas page. And then when I come home, I know I have these recordings. I'll go back to it when the SEO is on my plan, or whatever is the situation. So that's kind of like how I take notes strategically, and that's how I kind of ease my mind out of idea shiny object syndrome. So, and that kind of like really saved me money, and they also saved me all like anxiety. Right, so I'm like less anxious now when I go. Meaning, like it's a good be anxious when you get like you get hyped up, but also just learn that if I don't deliver on what I feel like also excited, then I feel actually bad later. So now take little bites, make accomplishment, and feel good about it.
Nice. And I think I like that you mentioned, because I didn't think about it that way. Like when we're receiving information, as soon as something pops into your head, brain dump it, all your ideas. And then at the same time, once you're receiving that information, because you know that goal that you have, right, before you went into it, like what you're working on, you just start writing down action steps. So instead of just it being like notes. And wow, I really like that. I really like that idea that you shared.
And I actually really got this from Todd Herman. I went over his 90-day program, and he talks about all-in-one idea for 90 days, right? So you want to get 30 clients, you work on that, 90 days. You want to, get your branding up, YouTube videos, everything, you work on that 90 days. You want to get your membership program up and running, you work on the 9 days, or whatever is your goal, right? So you cannot, you probably can if you like very organized person, or I don't even know, maybe you have a huge team. Yes, maybe you can work on everything. But I just know that people should be really working on one by one, so they can see, okay, I got 30 clients. Now I can invest into branding. Now I can invest into traveling, or whatever is something on your mind.
Excellent. Yeah, that's really great. And guys,
I actually use his system and kind of recreate for my conferences, because I started just thinking this way, because everything about 90 days is something that should be like you should have 4 main goals during the year.
Gotcha. And so you separate. So now you divide the one thing that you're going to be focusing on, instead of having like all these things. Now you have kind of like a main idea that you separate throughout the year, like four
Yeah.
different ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is these 3 months, I want to get more clients. I'm going to AdCon. All I'm thinking about how to get more clients. I am not going to talk about business at a conference. I'm not going to be approaching people and saying, hey, I'm going to do ads for you or anything like that. No, that's not what it is. I'm going to be connecting with people who can either refer me to more agents, or there are agents who I can later connect with, right? It's not about me pitching at a conference, but it's about, or I'm going to be listening to strategies that can help me, maybe make a better webinar so I can get more clients, or anything that can help me get more, maybe set up a better messenger bot that's going to get me more clients, anything like that, right? So anything that's going to get me more clients, that's what I'm thinking, right? I'm not going to be thinking now about, things that are, not priority.
Gotcha.
This way,
Okay.
this is the only way how you can get the most out of the conference and your money back, because if you're thinking strategically, what do you want to get out of it, right? And when you come home, you actually get out of it, like you really focus on that.
Yeah. And so now transitioning to how you connect to speakers, because you shared with us like your approach, how you get how you get the most out of it, information, so you can implement the action. Now with the speakers, how are you able to connect with them, and where does the relationship start?
I think about who I want to connect with, right? So, for example, I want to connect with Ryan Stewman. This is just an example at the conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I, when you go to big conference, you hear like, so many speakers. So you're like, oh, what do I do? Yes, you want to connect with everybody, but it's not going to happen, right? So you have to connect with people who you want to connect with. Just love the guy, watch his YouTubes. So I always started connecting with him on social media. I'm tweeting on him. Commenting on his post. I'm going his YouTube and commenting. So this guy already has seen me. He has no idea who I am, but he kind of like sees my name somewhere, right? I already connect with some people that know him, and I know exactly what question I'm going to ask him, right? So when I approach him and I say, hey, I'm Sonia, he's not going to be like, oh, okay, whatever. He's like, oh, I think I know you, right? He will just have some kind of connection. And that's my permission to say, hey, whatever my question is, right? And I'm not going to ask him some kind of question that is going to be very what people ask him, but he has all the YouTube videos made on it. I'm going to ask him something strategic, more something that's going to stand out, right? So, for example, just Gary made for me a special video for me, saying, "Hey, everyone, this is Sonia. Follow her, whatever." He made this video for me. How? Because I wasn't typical. I watched all the people how they kind of treat him. They treat him, they fan over him. They get like all, excited when they see him, and he loves it. But he kind of wants something also different, right? So when I came in, I said, "Hey, Gary, I'm going to take a picture with you, but you have to do video for me." And he was like, "What? I have to do something for you to take picture with me?" And I think he liked the whole idea, like, who are you? But he liked it. So he said, okay, let me do video for you. And he said, okay, this is Sonia. And he kind of like, liked the idea that I said, I'm going to take a picture with you because I'm more important than you, right? That was just all about making him laugh. And I was laughing too, right? So next time when he was passing with me, he was yelling, "Hey, Sasha, Sonia," right? So that's kind of thing that you want to like be remembered. I'm not sure if he remembers me still, but if I approach him and say, "Hey, this is Sonia," he will know, I kind of know this girl, right? So it's all about leaving some kind of impression. For example, Zach King, he has like millions and millions of followers, right? So everyone was like dancing over, crying. I don't even know. It was like craziness when people met him. I was waiting to be at the end. He saw me a few times. They made eye connection when he saw me, and I actually asked him a question, about my son, because my son has YouTube and he wants to be just like Zach King. So I asked him, he's 5-year-old, should I continue or not? So he felt like, okay, let's go back when I was little, when I kind of like started with all of this. What advice would I give to myself, right? So he gave me advice from that perspective. Right? So when he loved it, he also made personalized video for me. So then I had another speaker that was amazingly, he was like a comedian. Everybody was asking questions about what he was already teaching. When he got on the stage, I found him on the, what I would like to say, non-speaker dominant area, which was when we were eating. There were all other speakers and he wasn't dominating. When he's on a stage, he dominates. Everyone fans over them, so he cannot connect with anybody. It's just the energy he has, he cannot connect. When you get them out of the speaker dominant area and you speak to them like you will speak with a friend, you need to treat them, right. When you speak to them like, hey, I really love your speech. I love how you deliver, what you're saying. But the most I love about you, the way you delivered. I love the humor. How did you learn to use humor in your speech? He was so impressed. He said, please email me. I want to give you all YouTubes I watch, how I learned this. So there was another level of connection, right? So, but if I ask him the same question at his speaker dominant area, he doesn't have a lot of time. He cannot connect with me. But the time, he had time, he was more relaxed. Every show was over. His energy was low and he was able to connect with me. I want to connect with him, just like me and you, right? So that's kind of different ways how I connect with speakers. And how I also love to connect with organizers. I build a relationship with them. That's a long term. That's not like 1 week before. That's like over a year. You help them with some quotes, with the blogs. You ask them what they need to help with. They introduce you to speakers. And that's another way how speakers can actually notice you better. When actually organizer of the event introduce you to speaker, that's a much, much better way than anything else.
Yeah, and then that also goes with like anything that you always have like a person in the middle, kind of like make that introduction, right?
Yes.
Because it makes that warmer of a connection. And so my takeaways from that was what time period would you recommend to kind of like go back or in order to start building that relationship with social media, so they kind of like start seeing your name, in different platforms before you went to connect with people? Would you say like a week, constantly, be on their social, or like way before that?
I always say, hey, 9 days is good. Maybe it's too much, but it's good for you to start introducing yourself. Week before, it's where you want to be really hot. They already know you by this time, kind of like seeing December, right? So there's so many ways. Twitter, Instagram, you tag them, you compliment them, you go comment under. Everyone wants comments under, right? You answer what I say, not like, hey, I love it, I love it. That's not going anywhere. You have to give them some kind of opinion on what I'm saying, right? You have to be noticed with your comments, right? So more and more you're being noticed, and more and more you kind of add to what they're saying, right? Give them a value. You can give them value by, giving them something, or you can give them value when you are adding on their already comment. They feel, okay, that's a good way. That's another way of thinking, right? So they feel like, oh, I just have another way of thinking of what I said, right? So kind of being strategic with your comments, and if you really want to connect, because I have a big plans for myself as far as I want to have a speaking career. So anybody who I really respect, and at this time there are like many speakers I want to be like, right? I do have my own way how I want to do it, but of course, I want to hear from them. How did you get there, right? How can I get there, like, and things like that, right? So I will always see what can I bring them as value to them. So when I ask them, for example, I had this keynote speaker that has so many followers. I invited him to my group. My group is small, right? And he speaks in front of thousand people, and ask him, why did you accept to speak in my small group? And he said, because you always bring me value. You have been following me, for me, always kind of helping me, always been supporting me, sharing my posts and everything. And when you ask me, I said yes right away without thinking, right? So that's a small things that they are willing to do for you just because they see you sharing their posts, they see commenting, they see you, giving them support or anything like that, right? And again, there's not something that you do, in a sneaky way 1 week before the conference. It takes time. It takes some effort. It takes some genuine relationship building. So that's pretty much how I do, and that's why you can see me on social media. I have my times when I interact with people, and I strategically interact with people that I feel it's my, it's a people I want to build around myself, right? People want to be part of their life. I want to be part of my life, my business life, and how we want to put it.
Yeah,
So
no, that's
I
awesome.
really want to get to know genuinely some speakers. Some speakers that I really, really love. Sometimes come now, not to be that good. Some people that I feel like, oh, he's too cocky. I feel it happens that I really start caring about them because I see other sides of them.
Gotcha. Yeah, and you know that's true. Sometimes that relationship or like how we know them may not necessarily be what they are like in real life, because at the end of the day we're always just watching them, you know, online, and you know people just behave differently. So you took us through your prep of what you do beforehand, what actually happens on the conference. Now after you've left the conference, what are some things that you keep on? What are some strategies that you'd suggest, you know, to keep that momentum going and keep having that return on the investment that you made at the conference?
So when I come back from conference, I had like 100 business cards in my hand. I mean, that's literally how it is because everyone is giving cards, and it's awesome. I always say, hey, if you give me cards, at least make sure you tell me something about it. And I say, hey, use something unique about yourself. Don't tell me, you know, I'm Louis and I do Facebook ads, because there are so many Louises that's going to be do Facebook ads. How am I going to know which one are you now, right?
Yeah.
So, or Sonia is doing Facebook ads. Doesn't really matter. So I'm not going to tell that. I'm going to say, hey, you know, I'm Sonia, and they say, hey, what kind of accent you have? That's the first thing they notice. I'm from Serbia, right? So they think I live in Serbia, then I have to explain I live in America, right? So this kind of like conversation we have, or I say I speak 5 languages, right? Or say something interesting about myself, right? Because that's something that you want to lead with, not that you are Facebook ad strategist, because there's so many out there, right? So there's something they can remember about you. So what is something you need you can say, right? So after I come home and I see the cards, I just go through and see who I remember, because then I left with 15 cards that I can remember about people, because everyone comes to me, and I should have a few times happened to me that they say, hey, I do Facebook ads. If you need Facebook ads, let me know. I'm going to be happy to help you. And I just say, yeah, I'll let you know, no problem, because I don't say anything about myself, because they didn't take time to ask me what I do. They were pitching me Facebook ads, and they don't know that I do that, right? So that's why what I'm saying here is take time to actually get to know people. Don't talk about business at all. Doesn't really matter, because eventually they will learn that you do that, and they will look for you and maybe hire you or refer you to somebody. Really talk about you, about your persona. What do you want to do? What kind of books you want to read? What kind of retreats you want to go to? Where you want to travel? What do you like to eat? Maybe you had some, amazing food that you can share with them. Something, right? People love to hear about I'm from Serbia, because they have no idea where it is, right? That kind of things, like that's a girl from Siberia. They always say it's something they remember. It's even if it's the wrong way. I'm not sure if you can hear me now or see me, because something
No,
happened
yeah,
here.
we can. Yeah, no, we can see you and hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, I can see you and hear you. We're good. Let me see.
I don't hear you.
Yep. Guys, if you all are tuned in, let me know if you guys can see me and hear me. I can definitely hear Sonia.
You can see me and hear me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
actually don't see you at all, and I cannot hear you at all. So I'm not sure what's happening. Yeah, I cannot see you at all. Nope.
Let's see. This happens. This happens in live sessions,
And I'm trying to
guys.
see actually live here. Let me just kind of leave and come back.
Alrighty. All right, Shu. There she goes.
I'm sorry. I
Okay.
see you now. Yeah.
No worries.
So yeah. So after that, I come home and I like to email, and I like to actually right now not so much email. I actually just connect with them on social media and just say, hey, it was so awesome to see you. What is the next one we can meet? Hey, let's just hop on a Zoom or discuss something. I would like to know more about you. Hey, let's meet at this group. Another thing what I like to do is actually, and this is what I call is business card funnel. Use a card that is you're gonna funnel people into one place where you can say, hey, everyone who I meet, please come here and meet here, which will be in your case, let's just say your group, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to conference, you'll make on the group, you'll make a post. I am currently at AdCon, right? Everybody who I meet, comment below. So you're gonna give me a card. It's gonna say, hey, we met at AdCon 2018, right? and you will give me a link of your group. When I go to your group, and just say, make sure you leave me a comment, something, whatever, or you can even say something like cute, maybe password, so people can go password in the comment, just kind of like to make fun of it, right? So when they go to a group, they can comment under, and this is how you connect further, right? It's kind of like a new way of using Facebook groups for it, right? So you're gonna funnel them into the group, right? Or again, you can funnel them into like some kind of cheat sheet. But again, how do you know everyone needs what you're offering? Which means some people, they might say, hey, how to get 1,000 email subscribers? My email already have 1,000 email subscribers, so I'm not going to give them my email, right? So I'm funneling people in my Facebook group saying, hey, come to my Facebook group. This is for people like you. They go to conferences. We are meeting on my group, right? So something you can funnel them in to build the relationship further. If I met you and you say, hey, Sonia, I might have a few clients to refer you. I'm going to be connecting. Hey, Luis, let's get on Zoom. Let's talk about how we can work together. Let's just say that. Let's just say you're a real estate agent, and we kind of like talk a little bit, but I didn't like pitch my business, but I just talk about how I help agents. If he ask me what I do, then we can say, hey, let's just talk about where you are in your business. Let's hop on a Zoom, right? And also what I can do is interview people and take their notes, take their quotes, and write a blog. And use what people say, right? This way you give them credit to what I said, and kind of like, spread awareness about the conference. That of course, organizer will allow. You'll mention speakers, they will love. Attendees that you will mention them along the speakers, they will love it. They will share it, and suddenly you're the leader, that kind of, came out of the conference and is kind of positioning himself as somebody who is able to give back to people, right? So that's kind of thing that you can do. So again, depends like who you met and who you what you talk about. That's how you made individually. You make personalized connection, and just go from there. If you somebody just met and say hi, what you can do, go to their next Facebook Live or go to their next post and say, hey, it was so great to meet you at the conference. You were like amazing, something. And for sure, I will notice the comment and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I liked you too. And suddenly I'm going to be like stalking you, and here I am in your Facebook group, right? So that's how it works, and it's very natural. You don't need to have some kind of scripts. You can do that for emails, yes. But let's say if you want to pitch organizers for speaking, that's another level of connection. That's what you're going to do. You're going to ask them how you can help them spread awareness of the conference, maybe writing blogs, maybe helping else. And for sure, you'll be probably called an interview for maybe speaking at a conference or who knows what. So again, depends on the goal. That's how you connect after you're done with conference. And there are way too many strategies about this, but those are just few that I can just kind of tell you. Depends of like who you're meeting and what you want out of it. For AtCon, I know everyone is going to be on Facebook, commenting on each other, telling each other how we are awesome, and that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, no, excellent. You took us through the entire journey, guys. So what happens before, what happens during, what happens after. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to drop them in the comment section. If you're catching the replay, do that as well. But Sonia, you've shared with us a whole lot of like really golden information. That a lot of it was pretty brand new to me, and especially for people that have only been, to conference or a few times, or maybe they have always attended, but maybe they had like a different perspective on it. This is definitely a great live stream for that. So I want to thank you for lending us your time. And before you go, where can they learn about you, and what parting words would you like to share with this audience?
I'm sorry, if you can repeat, because you're kind of like cutting off. I didn't hear what you said last thing.
Okay. So I said that where can they learn more about you, and what would be some last words of advice that you would give to people that are attending conferences?
All right. I will just assume you said where they can connect with me or something like that. So you guys can go, and hopefully you can hear me. You can go to Conferences for Entrepreneurs Facebook group. Just go at Conferences for Entrepreneurs Facebook group if you wanna join in my group. And of course, this is where you can meet all the conference goers, speakers, organizers, and all people that love conferences are in my group, because there's the first and only one group on Facebook that's all about conferences. So I'd love to see you there, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed. And I'm sorry I missed the second question, but I cannot really hear you because it's kind of like chopping off.
Hello? If you are able to see me right now, I know we've had a little bit of struggle with the connection. There we go. You're back.
Yeah, I am back, but it was just really chopping everything what he's saying. I'm like can't hear you.
Yeah. I saw
because
that.
I'm body language reader and I can like see what you say, but you still got to do.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was thanking you for. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I was thanking you for your time, for sharing so much valuable information with the group, and it's cool, learning what to apply in the offline world here in this online world. And you already mentioned where they can find you guys. I'll definitely drop the link here in the comment section so you guys can join her group. If you want to keep learning more strategies about on it and have a direct contact with Sonia. And then any parting words that you want to share, like last words of advice that you want to share with this group.
Last thing I want to share is be you. Be very you. Be very you. You are just awesome as you are. And sometimes, at the beginning when I started going to conference, I felt like I have to like be this something perfect. But now people just like will connect with you just the way how you are, and just be you. Go to conference, and if you feel a little shy, just be shy. Just be you. If you feel extra, be extra. So just be you the way you are. So if you're shy, eventually when you go to conference, you're not gonna be shy anymore. Just meet the right people and you're gonna be fine. Because I get it a lot. I'm very shy. I'm introverted. So yeah, you're gonna get there. Just be you. You don't need to be extra and loud if you're not this way. Just the way how you show up online, people should expect the same when they meet you in person. Actually, when you meet me in person, I'm like all crazy because I get a feel of the energy at a conference. But that's pretty much how I am if you meet me anywhere, because I'm like extra energized all the time. So thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you and everyone who listens to this. And hopefully, guys, you're going to be using some kind of tips I shared here. And if you do, let me know how it works for you.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much, Sonia. I really enjoyed this time. And I hope you guys are watching from anywhere on your mobile phones or your computer. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. So thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys again soon. All right. Bye, guys.